Good afternoon, it's Hiker Dude Dad, and I am in Ithaca, New York. Behind me is the beginning of Wells Falls. We're just south of the city. We're along 6 Mile Creek. A little farther down the stream is a 38-foot tall cascade set against an industrial backdrop. I feel like this waterfall is going to set the stage for this trip here in Ithaca. Industrial backgrounds along beautiful nature tucked into gorges throughout the city. Let's check it out. Not a long hike here, but steep. We started up at the road just outside of Mulholland Nature Preserve, and we're taking this steep, deceptively slick track down. There's mud under leaves and loose gravel and everything, but this should only be really 1,000 foot or so round trip and about 50 feet in elevation to come down into this valley. And around this corner should be Wells Falls. Six Mile Creek here. The sheer rock wall on the other side, lots of little cascades down here. But all of a sudden, look at this, we are in the middle of this giant gorge. See a bit of the falls down here and just a wall of ice on the far side. Weather-wise, it's pleasant today. It's in the 50s. Only 2 layers on. It's in the 50s, so like a lot of this ice might be, starting to melt or whatever. Man, this is wild. Just icy teeth on the far side. And the remains of the Venata pumping station are right here. In Ithaca, they were always harnessing the falls and building industry around them. And this is one of those cases. Pretty incredible. We're right down here on 6 Mile Creek. Just see that powerful 38-foot waterfall behind us, plus another 20 feet at the top. Such a unique location down here in this little gorge. So I did see a piece of ice break off of there and fall down to the water. Also a rock, pretty sizable, came tumbling down off the top. I think I got that on video. Crazy place, man. This is beautiful. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. The rest of today and tomorrow morning, I'll be chasing waterfalls around Ithaca. I'll then make my way over to Cayuga Lake. Just upstream is a place called Potter's Falls. Potter. I didn't see a great place to get close to explore that one. Here's the inside of that pumping station that we saw. Man. That looks absolutely dangerous. Yeah. Really old, pretty much reclaimed by nature. So we're at the Cayuga Nature Center. This is the Treetops Treehouse here at the Nature Preserve. This place is interesting. This is a nature preserve established in 1975. It used to be a kind of a rest home for sick kids, if I recall the sign up at the front, but it has also served as like a summer camp too. So there is this gigantic treehouse. It looks like it's falling apart. Right under us, Denison Falls. I'm gonna go look at this treehouse and see if I really want to try and go up it. Well, that's a great way to get me to go up. Showcasing my #1 kind of weird fear. Right at the beginning of the treehouse. I guess there's a spider web. This thing is fenced in. It didn't wobble as soon as I walked in. That's a good sign. And I do find myself walking up. No idea how far I'll go. Seems pretty sturdy. It's just made of like natural logs and everything on the outside, I guess. Feels pretty stable. And it is closed in. I think I like that. I'm at the top already. I mean, I'm not going to climb the ladder and go up on the net here. For the top, which has some plexiglass panels. That's where the graffiti is. Yeah. So this way, like, gotta hold on, but there's Denison Falls down there. Not that great of a vantage point for it, but definitely stuff for the kids here. Learn about birds and everything. Spiders. Alright, so here is an awesome, simplified explanation for why Ithaca is so awesome. So, Finger Lakes, right? Here's my fingers. Finger Lakes were formed 11,000 years ago. North-south valleys filled with water and ice, and the ice carved down, pushed down with its fingers, and carved out the Finger Lakes. There were east-west streams at the time. Then the ice plows down through, okay? So these streams up top after this was done, they were left hanging. So they would come out and it's like, oh no, there's where the ice was, and fall. So these tall waterfalls then erode and recede and create these huge gorges. Meanwhile, you know, Cayuga Lake here, Seneca Lake, those remain filled with water. But it is remarkable how many of these gorges line Seneca Lake, Cayuga Lake, all of those. So Denison Falls here was probably started out way down that way. See turkey vultures a lot hovering overhead, but pumping up his wings here. Probably telling me to get out of here. But this is Ichabod. Ichabod is a perfect name for an animal with a head like that for some reason. I don't know, really seems to fit for me. Oakley is a great horned owl. Back in there, checking me out. You're not supposed to hoot at him. Ace is a red-tailed hawk, not hiding at all. And why should he with these talons? Bertrand is a common raven. And this thing is huge. From beak to tail, maybe 2.5 feet. Absolutely gigantic. Jet black. All those animals are in this little zoo, I guess. I almost call it a petting zoo, but everything's behind cages because stuff either has claws, talons, or beaks. There were gray foxes and red foxes, but they were hiding. I didn't even catch a glimpse of them if they were in there. The lodge here, Bertrand is signing off, saying goodbye. Big call of the raven. This is the lodge down here, and this does in fact look very old. I mean, this dates back to the early 1900s, but I believe it's like a visitor center now. It had served as the summer camp and everything else. Right in the middle of the city of Ithaca is this monster. 150 feet tall, 175 feet wide. This is Ithaca Falls. Absolutely amazing. Ithaca Falls, what a beast. Up on the ridge above you can see apartments, a factory. Like, we're literally in the middle of the city. We have city and Cornell University on either side. So this gorge just cuts right through the middle of the city. They built around it. There's bridges over the gorge. But this incredible falls is just Spectacular. Incredible volume of water coming over here. One thing about this trail, and you know I'm hit or miss with staying on trails, but here it's highly recommended. They've put stone down here, and that is on purpose. These green signs. The area is prone to falling rocks, some of which may be contaminated with lead originating from the former Ithaca gun facility. So there is lead in the soil around these falls. Industrial byproduct, but yeah, stay on the trails, stay on the rocks, don't get lead poisoning. One more bonus falls for you. This is Forest Falls, also in the Ithaca Gorge. We're just upstream from Ithaca Falls, but the gorge keeps cutting up through the city. There's a suspension bridge up there overlooking Horseshoe Falls, which doesn't look that impressive. I think Forest Falls here is better. So that's our bonus falls. It's time for me to go back and get some dinner. Cheers. I'm staying near Cornell University, and I checked into this place. It is called The Dorm. They have 4 levels of room. This is my first time, so I chose the freshman. I've got a twin bed. The sophomore has a bigger bed. The junior has a queen, and I think the king has like a king and the senior has a king and a sofa bed or something like that. So this is literally a dorm room in Cornell red. I had to stay here. This is crazy. Way better shower than I had in college. Oh, the bed is very high. There's underbed storage, just like in a dorm room. And what I'm really curious to play around with are all these panels. You can dim the lights, put your privacy light on. Oh, I turned my lights out though. Turn my lights on. There's a service button, don't want to push that. I could do all my cooling from over here. Heating. Got a little desk to do my homework. And a way better TV than I ever had. Pretty crazy. Go Big Red. The weirdest part about this is that I am pretty sure, like 98% sure, that my first dorm in college at Shippensburg University was also room 202. 202 Nalgo Hall. And now my dorm here at Cornell University, upgraded everything today, is also 202.